Merrick Garland is the current Attorney General. And on January 6th, the guy in the horns, his name is Jacob Chansley. What he did is he walked through the Capitol door, which was open. He did not break it down. It was open. He stopped and he spoke with police who were inside the building. They did not try to stop him. After which, Jacob Chansley entered the Senate chambers. He essentially did nothing, just milled around for a little bit, got some photos, and then he left. He has now spent 317 days in solitary confinement. He has been labeled by the Biden Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, as a domestic terrorist. The prosecution attempted to put him in jail for 51 months. His ultimate sentence was 41 months. This is an individual who had no prior criminal record, who suffers from mental health issues, who, yes, pleaded guilty to nonviolent obstruction of justice charges or obstruction of an official proceeding charges under coercion. This is how January 6th protesters are treated by the Biden Department of Justice. And then we have in 2020, the summer of rage, the Black Lives Matter riots across our country that ruined our cities. We have two lawyers from New York named Urij Rahman and Cullen Ford Mattis, who firebombed a New York Police Department car, an NYPD cop car. They firebombed it. They were handing out Molotov cocktails to other people, encouraging them to do the same thing. And they are now serving time in prison, half the amount of time that Jacob Chansley is serving in prison. Now, keep in mind here, originally, the Department of Justice had charged these two lawyers. These are attorneys. These are professionals. Originally, the Department of Justice had charged them with terrorism. They could have served 10, 20, 30 years in prison for this. But now the charges have been significantly reduced. Now they're simply conspiracy to commit arson and possession of an explosive device. 18 to 24 months in prison, between 1.5 years and 2 years. This is the Biden Department of Justice. On one hand, they treat and charge and sentence people related to January 6th as if they're domestic terrorists. And then because they had a problem with election integrity, they were concerned about whether there was voter fraud and other shenanigans in the presidential election in 2020. And on the other hand, we have Black Lives Matter protesters who actually were acting as terrorists. They were firebombing cops and encouraging people to stage violent revolution, giving them the means to do so, the weapons to do so. And they're just going to serve a little bit over 1 year in jail. And they're just gonna plead guilty to conspiracy to commit arson. That's it. Merrick Garland has told us that one of the reasons that the Biden Department of Justice is going after January 6th protesters to the extent that they are is because he said they were going after police officers. The January 6th, the fringe people who were committing violence were a threat to the safety of police officers around the Capitol. And Merrick Garland says, we won't stand for that. That's why we have to charge them to the fullest extent of the law. But these two Black Lives Matter rioters actually tried to murder police officers in the most grotesque way by burning them alive. They firebombed a car. They were hurling Molotov cocktails. And these folks get off easy.